What can I do?
Good afternoon, YouTube. Hope everybody is doing well. Getting ready for another chill day of gaming and doing stuff and things. Got a little bit of extra sleep last night, so feeling okay. Still a little bit tired. Last few days, only about 4 hours of sleep, so still a little bit wrecked, but ready to chill out and do some gaming.
Come and do business.
Just looking at ESO right now, and we've already done a few things.
Anything I can do for you?
But right now, just looking for some of these recipes that everybody's underpricing. So, if you are looking for stuff to sell, here's what you want to look for. This is a good flip. These will sell for 34, 35,000 at least. A lot of people got them listed for more than that, and they do sell. I flipped quite a few of these things. Show you here. Let's just do a little stat search and find out. Do a search for item here. We're only going back 30 days. Let's go to... There we go. Looks like these are... It looks like ATG's having a bit of an issue. Here we go. Love to get this to go back farther. But looks like it isn't. See if we can go. Nope. Alright. Well, anyway, maybe MM will have a bit more on that. Let's see. Here we go. So, all of these prices very much underpriced. Go to the sale time here. 15 days ago, 31,000. Looks like these are, this is the one I just purchased. So is that one. Nope, let's see. Let's just go to here and see. Yeah. Very underpriced. 46, 40, 44, 41, 23. So if you want to go around and search, that's what I just did here in Stormhaven. There was about 5 of them that were underpriced. You just go ahead, run around, and purchase those. List them for like 34, 30,000, 29, whatever you're looking for, and they'll sell. But we were just checking in today on the Jester's Fest, and that is going to be starting on the 21st, so get prepared for that. One of my favorite ones. And also, we got the anniversary event coming up right after that. And new furniture plans coming out of Skingrad right now. Miramore Mosaics, Writ Vouchers, and Bonus Excavation from Westfield and Blackwood and the Gold Coast. So if you are a item hunter, gotta be where you want to go. I did post that information in Discord as well, as far as the Jester Fest and those new updates with U45, so you can check that out. And I'm just gonna log out right here. We're gonna switch over. Today we're gonna be looking at hopefully killing some robots. Definitely would love to get some Generation Zero in today. But, the one thing I forgot to do, gonna have to log back in here. There's a free item in the Crown Store if you're ESL Plus. Wanted to pick that up for my account. Gonna log back in and do that. And then I think I'll take a short break and switch over to a little bit of Throne and Liberty. Get some of the daily purchases done there. Should take about 5 minutes. Just log in, get the daily purchases made, check my little Amatoys, see if I got lucky and got a bag out of the rewards, which then could turn into a real nice lucky purple item. But pretty rare. I haven't gotten any of them yet. But that is how my luck goes on MMOs. I'm a lucky person to have in your party and help you get items. But beyond that, we're going to go to Furniture Special right here. Scroll down, and Dancing Toejay is free. So if you collect that stuff on your account, go ahead and grab it. And I log out. And we'll be back with more games today. It's gonna be a gaming day, so you guys have fun with that. Hopefully, with all your gaming, or if you're at work, enjoy watching us entertain you while you do stuff. And I am going to step away for a minute. While I do that, we can, let's see, what do we want to entertain you guys with? I am going to go ahead and go to the Diablo dev meeting from yesterday. A lot of craziness going on here with some of the PoE versus Diablo versus Last Epoch and PoE releasing on very close dates, and Diablo and Infamous coming on the same dates. So let's see if they've got their developer live stream on YouTube. Should be there. Just switching this out while I change over accounts.
Dodge this.
Okay, we're getting all logged in. We're gonna go to Rack's Place for now. And let's see, Diablo. Here's the trailer for Season 8. We might check that out too. Last Epoch is live. Rantrak's doing that. Probably in preparation for it coming out in April. But let's look at the dev stream. See, go ahead and put that up. Here's the live chat right there. Oh, hey, a little loud. Go ahead and turn that down. For now, let's get to it. There we go. Let's crank these these settings up a little bit.
Hello, Diablo community. Welcome to another Diablo 4 Campfire Chat. This is our PTR Campfire Chat for Season 8. My name is Adam Fletcher. I'm the Director of Community here. Of course, I'm joined by this panel. A lot of familiar faces. Do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Colin Feiner. I'm a design director on Diablo 4.
Okay.
Hey,
and
I'm
I
Derek
will
Nunez. I'm a
be
lead
right back.
seasons designer here on Diablo 4.
And hi, I'm Charles Dunn. I'm a class designer working on the final design team.
Awesome. And we're also joined by Ruben Marquez, aka Bloodshed. He's actually behind the scenes. He'll be playing through some gameplay that we're going to be showing off here in a little bit. Oh, there he is. He's saying hi, waving. We'll see more of him here in a little bit when with maybe not Marak, dancing more. We got to see a good minute and a half of him before the stream actually started. Crazy day. First, I do want to start off with that we had a smoothie delivery this morning, and Marcus is not here. As you can see, I'm here hosting this because he forgot my smoothie in the order. So I just kicked him off the stream. No, I'm just kidding. But I told him I'd bring it up because I'm like, oh, my smoothie's not here. But either way, we have a lot to talk about regarding Season 8. And that's actually the end of the stream, so that's all I wanted to bring up. No, we have a lot to talk about for Season 8 PTR, but I know a few other topics that we wanted to hit on was kind of related to some of the quality of life stuff that's going to be coming with this specific season based off of, feedback and things we've seen within the game. And also one big topic is around mid-season updates. It's actually something that a lot of people have been asking about. And we do want to give a little bit of an update on what mid-season updates will be going forward and how we're kind of thinking about it from here. So, Colin, did you want to talk a little bit about how we're planning on doing mid-season updates?
Yeah, I think first it's helpful to sort of talk about the history of the mid-season balance patch. Originally, when we had talked about mid-season, it was pretty early in the life cycle of Diablo 4. We would add a ton of items, and we do sort of envision doing a lot of big swings in terms of big nerfs to overperforming builds and big buffs to underperforming builds. But as we've seen, we've added more progression and things like Season 4 itemization, there's a lot more time investment in terms of getting your build online and really refining and optimizing it. And what we found is when you put so much time into your character, it feels really bad when you nerf things.
Should be okay
so,
now.
Season 6 is a great example where you might have done so much work to temper your gear and masterwork your gear and level up those paragons that we were really hesitant to do like a big nerf.
The delay should be pretty good, and I'm just going to let this run while I go.
On the other hand, right, we didn't want to massively buff underperforming builds to match the overperforming builds, because we didn't want to create this insane, sort of arms race, and then we're at tier 9,000, right? It'd be ridiculous. So what we ended up doing was actually kind of like an even number of tweaks. They weren't really necessarily making a big impact. And we took a step back and sort of asked ourselves, well, what are we actually getting out of this? What are you, the players, actually getting out of this? And I think we're at a sort of point where we want to pivot and adjust our philosophy a little bit. And I think we've already seen some of this philosophy come to life in Season 7.
Big wants to do some robot killing. I am jonesing so much for robot killing, and I finally got a decent day to do it. So
related to
hopefully that works.
Really
let me see if I
crazy
cut my mic
numbers that maybe
real
they weren't
quick.
even numbers.
Are you getting an echo from
people saw
stream
in the
from
start of the
Diablo guys
season.
talking?
Yeah. So all that is to say, I think
loud.
really what we're going to start taking a look at is not doing massive swings in the mid-season, but instead focusing our efforts on the launch of a season. So we're going to take that time, and we're going to make sure that there's a much higher quality launch release, and taking a lot of that balance time and making sure that when we do launch a season, it's higher quality, right? We want the pit tier disparities to be a little bit lower. We want to make sure that when a new season launches, the new builds that we're adding are going to be really effective. There's a lot
I've
of
got
new
my
fun
mic
ways to
volume
play.
turned down because I
This doesn't mean
didn't
we're
want it
never
to
gonna
pick it up. I'm
balance
going to
touch
crank
the
that
game.
up a little
There's
bit, so I should be getting louder now. And we'll put them right about here.
Performing or way overperforming and acting quickly on them.
Yeah, the goal here is really to get everything closer in terms of
Okay, cool. And no feedback because the mic is moving a little bit from this audio coming out of my speakers, so just want to make sure it's not.
That way, we know we got a lot of feedback of hey, this feels kind of poopy.
Okay, cool. Well, I will be right back.
Below. And so the goal is really to kind of bring and keep things more aligned, especially at the start of the season. So as Colin mentioned, in the first couple weeks, I know there's going to be more effort in putting tweaks during that time to really respect the players' time as well.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, that timing is really important because like our mid-season updates in the past had come a month or a month and a half into the season once players have been really invested in their build. And now we're going to be much more focused on rapid updates, you know, within a week or two after the season launch to make sure that if we are making those adjustments, it is at a point where, hey, you're not you're not complete with the season, you're not done yet, and you can adjust and you can make sure that your time is respected in that way.
Definitely. So to really clarify, when a season launches, I'll use Bloodwave as an example. That was something we saw pretty early on, and it was way too overtuned, right? Like you didn't even really have to invest in your character to get to a point where you're godlike. And that is something that we would probably act quickly on as a part of the next season, for example.
And I think like a big point of clarity is like if Bloodwave using that as an example is very much an S tier build right now in this season.
S plus.
S plus for sure. I think that the goal is not to immediately take it to F or even immediately take it to C or anything like that. It's really keep it still an S, but like also make sure that it's still like at least lined up with like the other builds that might be up there in that top tier.
Yeah. Conversely, too, I just want to make it super clear. If we see things that we added that are new, for example, if the seasonal powers aren't performing in a way that feels really powerful and crunchy, we're going to be buffing those. So it's not only looking out for the S+, it's also looking for the things that missed the mark. So we're going to be buffing those also.
Awesome. Yeah, so I know that players at the start of Season 8 will see us be a lot more reactionary towards those first couple weeks in the early part of that season. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that with players because we've seen a lot of questions about mid-season updates. Is this a mid-season update when they see a patch or something like that? And so going forward, I know that's going to be the plan as we look at updating the game in the future.
And if you hide things early, I will Liam Neeson your ass. I will know. I will know.
There you go. You heard it first.
Yeah.
Colin's just waiting behind you. That's what he does.
Yeah, in the closet.
Yeah.
Like the little demon kid right behind you.
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing that we want to talk about is kind of like state of game, especially with Season 7, where we're at, and kind of how we're looking at that towards Season 8. I think one of the biggest points of feedback we've heard related to Season 7 is kind of the pace of the game. It's, sometimes you blink and you're level 20 and you're like, holy crap, what happened? So I know you wanted to talk a little bit more about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So just sort of our perspective on Season 7 has been the progression is very fast, way faster than we sort of expected. Part of it is a lot of the really cool new seasonal powers. Part of it's the headhunts being super lucrative and awesome. And part of it's also just like the seasonal journey and the reputation board. There's a lot of different ways to get a ton of power in Diablo 4. And what we've seen is compared to Season 6, which had a lot of positive feedback as part of our revamped progression model, is that a lot of that has sort of gone down the drain in terms of how fast players are chewing through some of the content. So we actually have a graph that we could look at. I apologize, this is terrible, but I just pulled it from the stat, our sort of stat page. It's not the greatest, but this is a picture of Season 6. You can see on the y-axis here, it was taking roughly people around 15 to 17 hours on average to get to max level. We felt like that was a pretty good journey, right? Part of Diablo is that sort of zero to hero journey, and part of what's fun about leveling is you start to sort of form a build and find a lot of different pieces early on when you're still forming your character, where customization is really fun, right? You're not necessarily locked into a build. So we felt like that was a pretty good clip for hitting max level. It's on average, right? So you could either go faster or slower depending on sort of how much of a blaster you are. So we felt like that was a pretty good average, especially with difficulty tiers and your ability to sort of go faster or slower based on your pacing. And let's go to Season 7 now. And it nearly doubled. So you can see that it was taking about 9 hours on average, which is kind of insane, right? Again, this is the average. So if you're like a Wudijo of the world, it's probably more like 2 hours or like 30 minutes. And that was something that we definitely feel like has sort of missed the mark in terms of that initial journey. So we are going to be making some changes just to adjust for a lot of the seasonal power and things like that. We're not going to necessarily nerf the power of the seasonal power. We still want you to feel powerful, but we are going to essentially take a look at the 1 to 20 25 experience and just smooth that out a little bit, which is going to essentially make the leveling experience a little bit closer to Season 6. So it is going to be a slower from 1 to 25, but one thing we've done to sort of compensate that is we've taken a look at the itemization. We don't like that rares and sort of magic items immediately disappear after the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I think you kind of get to that point like we were talking about. If you get to like level 20, you blink and you're level 20, and then at the same time you blink and you're like, blues and yellows. I only look at oranges now, or like what's this other color? So I know that we have some changes that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and again, like a lot of this is in the spirit of making sure that zero to hero journey is really satisfying, right? That's what makes it so awesome when playing Diablo, is that sort of, I start with nothing and become a god, right? So we are taking a look at the itemization so that it doesn't just feel like a slog from 1 to 25. What we're going to be doing is, I'm going to jump actually into the legendaries really quick because it's really important, a really important part of this. The other thing that was contributing to this leveling pace was that players are getting a legendary every 3 to 4 minutes, and that's from 1 to 60. That's not just in the end game. And it just felt like legendary item quality was just too prevalent across the leveling journey. You didn't have, you sort of hit max level. There was no journey to assembling your build. You just had everything as part of the Codex of Power. So we're also reducing the legendary rate from leveling. We're not really touching the end game legendary drop rates, but from leveling, we are adjusting that. And to compensate that, to jump back into the magic and rares, we're making it so that magics can have up to 2 affixes. So sometimes you're going to find, from your 1 to 25 journey, a pretty good magic item. It might actually be better than a rare, for example, because it might have dropped earlier for you. It might have higher eye power. And then we're also making it so that rares can sometimes have up to 3 affixes. And what that means is, when you get a drop at level 35 from a Whisper Cache, right now, in Season 7, it feels terrible when you don't get a legendary item because you just know that it's just not even worth looking at, right? But now that rare items can have up to 3 affixes, that means that you might have a really good imprintable base. It means all the rares that drop across the game from 1 to 60 could actually be pretty great gear for you, especially with all of our crafting options. So we think that this helps smooth out the 1 to 60 journey. I will caveat that the rare quality is not the best at max level still. It's going to be a lower eye power, so you're not going to have to filter through a bunch of rares at max level. We're not going to go back to pre-season 4. We think this is this sort of smoothing out of the leveling curve, taking a look at the magic rarities or the item qualities is just going to make the experience feel a lot more rewarding and satisfying as you go through these levels.
And then I know some of the other items we've been talking about have been like a little bit of that torment progression. We've seen drastic differences between like Season 6 to Season 7, and it's something I know we're making tweaks to.
Yeah, so the other half of Diablo is obviously the max level endgame, right? And we've heard a ton of feedback that it just feels like a weekend game right now. You can just blast through all the torment tiers. There's nothing that's really satisfying about it. There's nothing to work towards just because you're just getting so much power so frequently and just really crushing this content. So what we've done here is, if we go to the slide, we've actually given, let me jump into some of the stats here because I think it's really interesting. A lot of people got to Torment 4 very quickly. So on average, it was taking players around 15 hours to get to Torment 4. That's like roughly double how quickly it took in Season 6, which is kind of insane. Again, it's the culmination of seasonal powers and all this crazy stuff going on. And the other part of it is that 50% of players were actually hitting Torment 4. And just from a philosophy standpoint, we really want whatever the hardest Torment tier is, in this case Torment 4, to be aspirational. And to us, that means around 10%. That means that, if you're really Johnny Badass, you need to be in the top 10% of players to actually get there. And it's not hitting the mark. So what we're going to do is make some adjustments. So Torment 1 is now going to start at pit tier 10, which means we've effectively added 10 pit tiers to the pit because now Torment 1 starts earlier. And then we've also increased the Torment pit scaling, health by roughly 20% multiplicative, and then some damage increases.
Yeah, and that pit scaling is every level of the pit is multiplicative on previous levels. So it's not just like, oh, whatever pit I was at, it's now 20% harder. It's actually like kind of stacking 20% every level. So and the end result is that a pit tier 100 is much harder than it was before, and that will that makes it harder to reach that absolute highest end, and gives you a little bit more for those builds and those blasters who are getting up to that highest pit tier. It's going to be quite a bit harder to get to quite that same level next season.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, sort of culminates in moving Tournament 1 to set pit tier 10 and effectively adding 10 pit tiers and increasing the multiplicative scaling of the pit tier scaling is the journey is going to be a lot more sort of satisfying. There's a lot more sort of peaks to climb. And it also means pit tier 150 is going to be very difficult. So
I am back, and I have coffee. Coffee, coffee.
Something silly on
He says this now.
So we might have another person coming in and joining here. Just talked to Big, and I think he's going to join us. Actually is interested in watching this as well. This is a long interview, so we're not going to watch all of it straight through. Now it's echoing.
The game
Uh-oh.
we're playing right now, Tournament 4 is going to be about 11 pit tiers harder.
I wonder.
It's just that upper
How about
end is
now?
also just
I'm
gonna
going
be
to turn
that
it
much
down.
harder to sort of
There we go. How about that?
Awesome. So we got a lot of changes coming for like tournament scaling. Obviously, some itemization changes.
Okay.
the
So when
big
I'm
thing
talking,
being,
then the mic's picking
as
up
you're
the
leveling up,
Diablo
you're gonna
stuff.
See a lot more
Better?
opportunities
Okay.
to find items, especially with the changes to blue and yellow items there.
How about now?
And then, of course, as you mentioned, the big caveat is like at 60, the item power.
I
on
just
Legends
turned
is
up
still
the
gonna be
video a little bit.
the
It's
best-
probably getting picked up
the
through
the
my
best items
speakers.
to actually grab. So yeah, lots
Gonna
of
have
good
to
changes
start
coming
wearing
up.
headsets. I
Great
really
to
don't
actually
like wearing a
walk through all of
headset,
them. I know we have a ton more to talk about specifically around the new season. So thank you, Colin. We're gonna jump over to Derek because I know we do want to talk about the new season and what players are actually going to be experiencing in this peak.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Howdy. Uh-oh.
Well, it's a PTR, so it is like a beta or an alpha, an early look into a
How's
game.
it
So we
going?
expect that. There will be like known issues. and we'll actually have
it's
those known
going.
Issues on our forums. So people
Yeah,
can
that's
actually
about
see
I just
them.
got,
Or it actually helps when you
just
guys
got
actually jump into
one of
a
Sophie's
PTR
birthday
and
presents in
experience
the
it,
mail, so now I've
give
got
us
to set
feedback
it up
because
for her.
that helps tweak
Oh,
the start
okay.
of the season for the better, essentially.
A little
But, with season 8,
soon
we will
to
be having,
be
of course, a PTR, and we'll be talking about it here in a
13-year-old
second.
girl here in a
And if you
week
remember
is
with
getting
season
a
7,
$210 tablet.
This overarching
Oh my
theme,
goodness.
with like big changes.
Oh my goodness.
One was specifically around what was
Yeah, it's
mostly
it's
focused
a
around, like,
really
publicity.
nice 10-inch
And
tablet.
of course, with season 8, we have another overarching. theme
Ah,
that
that's
we're really
awesome,
gonna be
dude. You
talking
should have
about.
talked to me. I have
But
one
we'll be
here
kind
that
of
I could have
even
given
seeing
you
an old
from
friend. So, Derek, do you
Michelle's
wanna,
dad.
Chat about it here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I would've had
So
to
yeah,
wipe
as you
it, but
mentioned,
it's,
seasons are
Samsung.
kind of like our opportunity to shine focus on an existing
well,
system and
you
really
know.
amplify or sell.
But, yeah, I'll probably
use
their
it
respective
for
seasons.
some.
So we've seen that with season 4 with the
Maybe
Hound
I'll
Tide
make
that
and
my
whatnot,
fourth
as you
monitor and
mentioned.
have the
Season
chat
7
like
was
the
emphasis on
YouTube and the
Whispers
chat
and
there. I
Bellies.
don't know.
So
Well,
as
yeah,
Colin
that
kind
would
of
work.
mapped out the journey to the end game, we wanted to shine focus on a major.
But
end
yeah,
game,
here's their
feature,
little campfire
namely
they had, and
surrounding our
it's
bosses. And we have a
it's
lot of really
pretty
cool
long.
bosses in the world of Sanctuary. But more specifically, the lair boss system, or as some of us
I think we'll skip
reference
ahead
it
and
to
look
as
at
the
some
boss
stuff. But yeah, I wasn't
so
even gonna do
Season
anything
8
today. Just
focus
kind of
is
crash on the
lair
couch
boss
because I've
system.
had
We're
like
going to be doing a whole mess of
3
new
or 4
things to
days
it.
in
So
a
we're
row
adding
with
new
only
bosses,
4 hours of
new
sleep.
mechanics, quality of life.
Yesterday, let's
updates,
see,
and
last
a
night I
revamped
think I got
materials
about
that I'm gonna
7,
be covering
so
throughout the course of
I'm
this
feeling
segment.
better, but still
So,
kind of
first I
wrecked.
just want to kind of talk about, the new bosses and additions to the roster. So when we're talking
Well,
about the
yeah.
lair bosses, these are like the biggest,
But
baddest,
the
bosses
itch
of
to kill some
Sanctuary.
robots is
So
real.
we're looking at how do we add to the roster in a meaningful way, but also which bosses do we add that are impactful and versatile enough to carry the entire theme of a season. So with that in mind, we're just asking ourselves a question of which of the right bosses to bring. You mentioned an old friend.
So
we had
how
to choose
much
something
time
that
do you
was
need
versatile.
before
We had to choose something that was
you-
big,
Or you
bad.
want to
So
set that up
that's
while
where
we're
we
kind
go
of
to
chilling?
Belial.
Give me about
Yes,
20.
Season 8, Belial's return. Belial's back in Sanctuary. He
Yeah,
is
they're bringing back
climbing
Belial.
his way to the top of the
However,
boss ladder. He is
the
new,
interesting thing is, I
exalted
was watching a
pinnacle
couple
challenge
streams
within the
about
ladder.
this,
He is the
and
highest
Belial
challenge,
is
the highest
not
reward,
going to be
and he
on
also
the
has some
PTS.
very,
So they got the
unique
PTS live right
reward
now, which is
related,
probably
tricks
what
up his sleeve that I'll cover a
Rantrax
little
is
bit later.
doing. Let's
So,
check in
for
on
now,
him real
just know
quick.
that Belial's back, and
if he's
he's also
live. He
just not
was.
joining the party alone. He's
He
bringing a
was
couple of
live.
friends
Let
from
me
our
go ahead
Vessel of
and
Hatred.
I'm gonna
So
slide this off
first
the
up
screen
is our buddy Urvar. So
and
Urvar's
log into
joining
Twitch
the
real
roster
quick.
of the Lair Boss ladder system. He's
should
going to be
still
filling
be able
out
to
kind of
hear
like
it,
the
but-
lowest rung of the ladder. So he's going to be joining the party with the
Yeah.
Volshans and the Beast and Nice and
Gonna
whatnot.
go ahead and do my
Urvar's
two-factor
next, and we're also bringing back
verification here.
another Vessel of Hatred character, the Harbinger of
And it's
Hatred.
funny because even though I
Yeah,
check
this one-
remember this
We're gonna
computer
see a
for
little
30
bit more of
days,
this
it doesn't
guy,
want to do that.
just a
Okay,
little
here's
bit, but,
okay. So
the
he's
Harbinger
doing
of
Last
Hatred
Epoch
will be joining kind of
actually.
the second rung of the
Darth
ladder,
is doing
with
Path
the
of
likes
Exile.
Duriel
I
and
don't
Andariel.
see
And one thing I just do
anybody
want to stress is that
on
both
the
these Vessel of
PTS
Hatred
right now,
bosses
so
will dip into
we'll
the
check
shared
back on that
pools
later.
of other bosses within their respective tier, but also have some additional bonuses that is specific to the Vessel of Hatred.
Talandre
being a great
bundle
source
for
of tributes
Throne.
and runes. But Belial, for all intents and purposes, is
On Prime
available
Gaming?
to everyone, and
No,
he is
let's
just the
check
new
that
pinnacle
out.
challenge of the boss ladder.
Let me
So you're
open
saying
a
even
new
harder
window
than
here.
Duriel and Andariel right now. He's going to be
Um,
harder, more rewarding than even those.
Absolutely,
won't
yes.
let me.
Yeah,
New
Belial.
top tier.
Open
Yes, new top tier.
new
Belial Lord of
window.
Lies, he's
Let's
not
go
messing
over
around.
here.
I'm really
I'll
excited
log
about
into
this
my
because I think
Prime
this is
account
going
and
to pair
check
really
that.
well with the sort of leveling journey.
I may
and
already
training
have that
progression,
from
making
logging
things a
into
little
the
more aspirational,
game.
a little bit more challenging. It's really
Not
like
sure.
a return to the heart of the Diablo
Let's go to
experience,
Prime
right? Sort of
Gaming,
leveling from nothing and
sign
taking on
in.
these huge big bads to claim their loot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's kind of like the inherent cool thing about the Lair Boss ladder system is that you start with like the initiate level floor.
Let's see.
You take those on, you graduate
Alright,
to the
and it
next
was-
Check my
level,
Prime
and
Gaming,
then now
too.
you have kind
Yeah,
of Belial
yeah,
just
yeah,
always
yeah.
there looming
It was,
over you. That's kind of
free.
the aspirational.
Let's
Yes,
see.
I get to go fight him now. But for those who know about our buddy Belial, Lord of Lies, you know that he
I
kind of
kind
appears
of
in
went
different
through
forms. So this
this,
is what we're kind of referencing as like his supreme
few days
form
ago.
that
Let's
appears
go
at the
ahead.
top
Oh
of the
yeah,
Lair Boss
it is
ladder.
there.
Switch
But
this
he also
and
has
this.
his, I guess, smaller, more agile.
Is it
compact
under the
form.
free
I like
games,
to affectionately
or-
refer to him as Baby Belial, but
It
this
is under
Belial
in-game
is more
content free with
compact form,
Prime.
And throughout the course of the season,
All
or I
right.
guess just the Lair Boss mechanics, he's going to be popping up all over the
where'd my
place. But I'm
screen
really
go
excited about
to?
this version of Belial's new role in the Lair Boss ladder system, in the sense that defeating and looting any of the Lair bosses has a small percent
It's under
chance
end
to
game?
initiate a
No,
surprise
in-game.
ambush from Belial himself.
Oh, in-game
and
content.
this is really cool because
Yes.
this is kind of like
I
a two for the price of
may
one
have
payout. So
already.
let's say
Let's see.
I fight Andariel, I defeat Andariel, I loot Andariel, and I get this special ambush triggered. And if I
There we
defeat Belial, I'll get a double
Well, I've
payout
got both of
Andariel's
these, so
loot.
I can claim
I
both
got the
of
loot from
them.
Andariel,
Let's see
and
what
I
it
get
does here.
another payout of Andariel's loot from defeating Belial himself. So
That's huge.
it's a really
Link
exciting
account.
kind of just
It should
like
already be
injection of some
linked.
fun novel mechanics within the
To your
Lair Boss
Steam?
system that we're doing over and over and over again.
No, it says linked
so,
by
again,
Amazon account.
Really excited about this update. And
Oh.
again, in the spirit of teasing kind of the rewards relationship and connection that Belial has,
Take that off of here.
this version of Belial has a very special connection
looks
to his
like, yeah, I
larger
have to
supreme
link it
form
to
in
Steam.
the Lair Boss
Really?
line that I'll touch upon a little bit later. A lot
Okay.
of teasing, but I'm kind of just setting that. There's a lot
Yeah,
to know.
it's already. it told me to go do that. It's already
Yeah,
linked.
right,
That's
yeah.
part of the theme.
Belial's actually not here. This is a lie.
So, do I have to claim it in?
Yeah, so
inside
that was that. That was the the Belial ambushes.
Throne?
But I also want to talk about some
Shouldn't
additional
have
major
to, no.
sweeping updates that's coming in with just the
Okay,
system
now
as
it
a
says
whole.
it was
And I wanna
already
talk
collected.
about the summoning
So,
materials.
yeah.
As we know, the way that the system currently functions is
Awesome,
you do,
thank you,
activities,
Triple.
you get summoning items, you go visit the boss, and you plop them in.
They
you
got a
summon the
bunch of
boss,
stuff going
and
on,
then, that's
and
kind of just a
so
flow.
does.
So when we're looking at the Lair Boss system, we don't just look about ways that we
ESO.
can add to it. We also look about
I'm getting excited for that.
opportunities to
Jester's Fast
resolve or
Anniversary
do some
event
frictions,
coming up.
or just areas for improvement.
Oh,
that we
there's
can
stuff
have with
going
this.
on
It's a
in
very mature
Throne.
system. We get a lot
So
of
while
feedback
you're
that
getting
we,
that laptop
diligently
ready, I
ingest
think
and talk
the
about
first
on
thing I
our
was
team.
going to do is get into
So
Throne
when it came to
and
the
just
summon
buy the
materials,
daily
we
stuff.
identified a couple of key points
So-
of, I guess,
oh,
friction
Steam
that
has
players
an
are currently
update,
having
looks
with it.
like.
One is, since you have to ante up your summoning materials just to summon the boss, it's kind of a feels bad moment when you realize that you just wasted, X number of materials to find out that you can't defeat Duriel. Like, okay, that's wasted materials, back to the loop. Maybe I'll fight him another week or two, depending how fast you are. And it's just generally not a great feeling for myself. or
I'll
for
just do
players
that
like
real quick.
Yeah, I definitely have run into this where it's like I'm only going to fight the boss when I can guaranteed win against it.
Right.
Are you at
So
work?
you never
Triple?
actually
And how do you know
Chilling
that too?
or
Until,
just-
how do you know
trial and error.
like
At
you
home
literally
with
have
the
that,
kids
like,
being
actual
off
fun fight
for
with
break.
the boss where you're like, oh, am I gonna lose or not? 'Cause it's like, well, I'm just not gonna risk it.
Yeah, I've had at times where I'm like, I don't know if my build's quite ready, so I'll try to fight a boss. And then I'm like, oh, this is really tough. Like, I die a couple times, and I'm like, do I really want to keep.
And follow-up
like,
question
retrying it?
is big
Because, like,
echoing
well, I've
when
already
he
invested,
talks,
I'm kinda,
because
like,
that's
kinda
coming
committed.
through my
So with this new way, I
speaker's
don't
pretty
need to
loud
invest
as
those
well.
right up front. I can just go and
You
fight it right away
suck.
and see how strong I am without the
Nice.
materials.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks
yeah.
for
So
chilling
we're
with
gonna
us.
cover
We're gonna do some
specificities
stuff
of
today.
The new system and how it all works in a little bit, but the other kind of pain point that we identified with the current system is also just in regards to like the party play. I think my little earpiece is coming out.
Okay, cool.
There you go. Now it's
It's a
back in there.
common theme on this.
Yeah.
The earpiece just pops out all the time.
We do it live here. Yeah, so the other element is like just the party play, right? And as much as we want to kind of like entrust in our fellow man and whatnot, and
But
But yeah, as soon as I get done setting up this tablet, I've got to distribute dinner, and then I should be free the rest of the evening.
Rotations and they don't submit their
Awesome.
material. Like no one watching the stream would ever be guilty of this, but that
What?
does happen.
You
It's
was
shocking,
cutting out
but
there.
It does happen.
Oh yeah, Throne just
Yeah.
fired up with that stupid video. So how's it sounding now?
And then they leave and they take all their stuff. So that was another kind of area of friction that we experienced with the current summoning material.
Hello,
So
hello.
I think that's kind of enough of a preface just to
No.
set the tone for where the system is going now that we're introducing season 8.
Yeah, my mic in Discord is
I don't
queuing
know.
up,
Let's find
so hopefully
All right,
it's
so
not echoing
Layer
too much.
keys. So summoning materials are effectively being repurposed in their roles as a new item called layer keys. And what layer keys do.
Can you hear me
I'll
all right
just start
still,
with this, since
or
there's no more summoning materials?
am
that
I
just
breaking
means that
up?
Effectively, all layer bosses.
No,
are
you sound
being
fine.
summoned.
Okay.
So, if you're not sure if you're ready to take on a Varshan or a Duriel, just go visit them. You know, kind of use them as a bit of a
and
training
let's
dummy
go
to see
ahead
if you can
and
actually, take them on.
Get
But
my
what layer
keyboard
keys now
profile
do
set up because,
is
you know,
they grant
left-handed,
access
so
to the
need to
defeated
set up a
bosses
profile for
or
every
their treasure
game
chests
so
they
that I can
drop. So now I'll just walk
actually
you through
move around.
Imagine this with me. So you enter Duriel's.
Gonna go ahead and we need
walk up
to
the
get our
altar,
contracts
just
done
click the
better.
altar,
We're running
scan
low
some
on
cards
guild
you
coins.
You fight Duriel, you defeat him, out pops.
At
Yeah.
least,
and
at
now
least I
the
am.
Shards of Agony, which is now the layer
I mean,
key,
I got,
you
I
use
think,
that
like
to
3,000 or
focus your
something
sword
like
and
that,
get all
but
the
Yeah, I
moves
spent them
Your,
all.
that is him to do.
your stream is
And these were the content
super
checks, so
zoomed in.
You have to pay in order to
Super
get the loot,
zoomed in.
and the only loot
Yes, sir.
or the loot comes from the person who pays.
Yeah, that's a very important distinction. Is that now?
Wonder if that's the canvas setting. I don't know why it's doing that.
Tell me.
Of the layer
Here.
keys to
Oh, I
access
see why.
loot in the horde.
And you can still trade your keys
I see what's
with
going on
friends and
here.
Things like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix that for you.
Duriel mats, you can split them in half. And give
All
them
right,
to
and I'll
the
be
person
right back.
in the chest.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share this
Any
carrying this.
information
And then,
you
of course, if
need?
you're really lucky,
I
you can
have
go
heard a
and
few
you can get double.
here and there.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yes,
you're gonna get
it
a lot of
is.
new avenues and
Look
ways
at
to kind
that.
of
That's goofy.
experience the system.
Go like
So we
I've
also
been
have
doing
the
this for
staging
so long
stones.
that I
Staging
can guess
stones
what a
in season
customer
8
needs just
is
by looking
living
at
a new
them.
life now, in the sense that we wanted to ensure that every boss in the first rung of the ladder,
see
our
if this
initiate
is
layer
gonna
bosses,
pop
the
up now.
Varshans, Grigors,
No.
Busanites, Slodzirs, and Urvars now, that they're all
Any
equally relevant
information
to
you need?
getting
So this
you
window
to
is
the next
actually
round.
going
In addition to,
over.
you can take a screenshot
you
of this
okay?
chart here. I won't try and walk through the entire thing, but now staging stones is a
So when I do the
drop that
full
can drop
screen
from any
thing,
of
How much
the
stuff
so
initiate
that it
layer
shows the
bosses.
You must be in
screen,
for a
And you
major
can
battle
crush them
ahead.
Get rid of
into
that,
your
and
layer
now
key of
this stuff
choice
should
for
work.
the second
Let's
rung
see.
of the layer bosses. So let's say I fight Grigor, I get a staging stone,
No.
and I want to go fight Andariel. I can just crush
So
that
it's
into
showing it
someone
there,
else.
but for some reason
And
now
again,
it's
just giving
hiding
a bit more
behind.
flexibility in how players actually engage and progress through the layer boss ladder. Again, as we know, all roads lead to Belial,
Interesting.
lies, the top of the pinnacle.
People
of the
all
ladder
more
at
or
the end.
less lead the same life.
There's a lot.
Shut
My
that one off.
endless is
Final thing
full
here
of
is
danger and
the item
adversity,
block reduction.
just
So again,
like
with this new
yours.
system,
Not
we're
sure
consolidating
why
all the
it's
layer
hiding
keys to
the-
one layer key type per boss. So no more kind of managing two different materials and
People
two
all
of
more or
two of
less
these,
lead
five
the
of
same
these.
life.
It's just one
My
material per
endless is
boss.
full of
We're
danger and
increasing the item
adversity,
stacking of these
just
to
like
99.
yours.
Again, you cut down on some of that bloat. And one of my personal favorites here is that we're also normalizing the counts of required layer keys per
Given
boss
how
rank.
much
So
stuff
all the
you're
initiative,
getting, you
tier
must be in
bosses,
for a
they require
major
the same
battle
quantity of
ahead.
their respective keys. So too the graders and whatnot. So again, it's just cutting down on the total mental math and memory.
People
that
all
is kind of
more or less
affecting
lead
the,
the same
I guess, like
life.
on-ramping enjoyment
Mine
of the
was
current
as full
system.
of
See where I
danger
can
and
find
adversity,
this and
just
move it
like
forward.
yours.
Yeah.
As part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So
That
you can see
actually
this chart
just
here. You have
started
Pincushion Doll, Shard of Agony, or the Stygian
since
Stone's
I've been
kind of the
using
wild
this
card that you can crush
full
into.
Did you get
screen
any special guild
Let's say
show
contracts?
the
you needed 4
You
Pincushion
can tell
Dolls.
me.
You have
stuff.
3 of
I
them.
can keep
You
a
have
secret.
one Stygian Stone. You can crush that into Pincushion Doll and go get Endaro's Horde.
So if I remove
So,
this
all right,
source,
that was a pretty big
rid of
overview
that.
and a lot of
Okay.
talk
Did you
about
get
charts,
any
but
special
I
guild
want to take the time
contracts?
to throw
You
it
can tell
over.
me.
did you
to
lose
I
sound
keep
now
secret.
for
behind the
the
scenes here and kind of just get into just what the
Diablo
site looks like as far as
broadcast?
just the in-game flow.
Hello, Derek. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Yeah, let me open up the menu for you.
All right,
Everyone
cool. So in
dreams
this
of
walkthrough, I'm
being
just
the
gonna show you
best.
kind of
The
what we're
same
going to show
goes
you
for
rather
guilds.
the new flow to access the lair bosses with a little bit of a sneak peek of the Harbinger of Hatred. So one thing I want to just call out real quick is kind of some of the quality of life updates that we've taken to just
People
the map
all more or
presentation
less
and the
lead the
boss
same
dungeon
life.
tooltips themselves.
Mine
And I'll kind
was
of
as
go through
full
these kind
of
of an
danger
itemized
and
order.
adversity,
So
just
first,
like
all
yours.
the boss
There we
dungeon
go.
icons
Now
have
it's
been,
back.
given a little bit of a
All right,
beautiful
now let's
beautification
go
treatment.
with-
So
Did you
a little
get
bit
any
more
special
bold,
guild
red,
contracts?
and easier
Think
to
I got it
identify
figured out.
against the sea
I
other
can keep a
icons on the
secret.
map. But now I want to talk about the tooltip, and I'll just start from the top and go make my way down. So the first quality of life update that we
Any
added
Yeah,
was
give
just
me
the
one second, I'm gonna
name
fix
of
that.
the
I
boss
have
that
heard a
that
few
resides within the
here
dungeon.
and there.
I think.
You know, one of the kind of
Are
ambiguities
you
that we had with
okay?
the previous version of this system was not knowing
I've been
specifically
doing
which
this for
boss
so
lives
long
in which
that I
dungeon.
can guess
Oh,
what a
who does
customer
live in the
needs
Gaping
just
Crevice?
by
So who lives
looking
in the
at them.
malignant tunnels. So now you can see here that the Harbinger of
So
Hatred
now we got that
lives in the
going on.
dead. This is
Whoops.
probably not the best example because who else
Given
would
how
live in
much
here
stuff
is dead.
you're getting,
Yeah,
you
well,
must
yeah,
be
he
in for a
technically does
major
live in every
battle
single
ahead.
one of them.
No,
since
I
he- yeah.
don't know where he's at.
But yeah, so you can see here now we print the name of the lair boss that lives in the dungeon for a little bit easier to find.
Any
You'll see the main
information
body
you
description.
need?
We also just
I
give a little
have
bit more
heard a
guidance
few
and
here and
information
there.
on
Put this
what the value of the
Are
famous
you
boss
okay?
is, and directing players to the fact that they are a source of
And
ancestral
now that
guidance.
should
The last two
I've been
updates
doing
here,
this for
some
so
of my
long
favorites of this is
that
that
I
we
can
also
guess what a
display
customer
now the
needs
required
just by
items
you should be
that
hearing
you
Throne
need to
and Liberty
access the
and
boss's
the
horde. If you recall the previous iteration, that was
and
not
the
apparent to you, so you would
broadcast
kind of like waste
for
the time
Diablo
traveling to
right
the
here
boss
at
just
the
to find
same
out that,
time.
oh, I have
I've
3 or
been
4
doing this for so
so I
long
can't fight
that
the
I
boss.
can guess what a customer
This
needs
guy
just
talking.
by
Again,
looking
just
at
smoothing
them.
out the access and onboarding to the feature. And I think my absolute favorite update of all this is you see at the bottom, we now have the ability to travel
Yeah.
directly
People
into
And the
all
Diablo
more or
should
less
be a
in the
little bit
same
louder
life.
now.
from the map.
Mine
So,
was
again,
as
no
full
more
of
teleporting to
danger
the
and
nearest
adversity,
waypoint.
just
We
like
just
yours.
hop directly in and just get into it. And we have Ruben loading into here.
Any
I think this is a
information
great
you
time
need?
to just outline. I've talked about the new bosses.
Just gonna
I've
get
talked about
this
new
stuff done
mechanics.
real quick and
We
the
have
throne will be gone.
a collection of really great existing lair bosses. And one thing that we wanted to take as an opportunity within the season was to also enhance every other lair boss that exists in the system. So
Here's the coin
every lair
merchant.
boss is getting a bit of a
got
difficulty spike
purchase
and
all
new
that.
mechanics to again flatten out
Oh, then we
the
just
fights
need the
that
Sundries
we've been,
merchant,
knowing
which I
above. So
think he's
if you
around
fought,
here
the
somewhere.
Varshans or the
This is
Duriels
the
or even
new
the Liliths,
area.
over and over and over again.
There it is right there.
This is
And
a PTR, so
Sundries
definitely worth
merchant.
checking them out
Gonna
and
go ahead
see
and make
what's
those
changed
purchases.
and how much different
All
their
done.
experience is.
Yeah, Durin
Okay.
has some finessed
Now
up
let's see if we
surprises.
can do
Duriel
this. I got a lot running on this computer right now, so
Definitely worth checking out the mechanics.
bang
But again,
your
so this is the
head.
Harbinger of Hatred.
Bow, bow,
And,
bow.
just as a reminder, one
wind
thing that we
chimes
do
use
when
Forgot
we
to
add
turn
boss
that off.
to the
simple
lair
Making
boss
sure
made
it
by
was over
hand.
we
the
don't
top
just
of
take the carbon
everything.
copy, campaign version of it. We also take the opportunity to inject some really crazy mechanics. So I don't necessarily want to, kind of
Hey
spoil
now,
the
how old
surprises
do you
of
think
the
I am?
Harbinger of Hatred's mechanics
Come on
here.
over.
It looks
But
like
just
it's
give it a
cutting
try.
off
Get pretty
the
long.
I might
This is,
give you a
window
discount.
this is
also
a spectacle
for
and a half of a fight, and I'm really excited to
Throne and
have
Liberty,
players
which
check
I
it
don't
out.
know why
So,
it's cutting
You
that
know,
off.
yeah, I
Wind
think
chimes used to be pretty
I think this is
popular.
about
They're simple,
all we might
made by
want to show
hand by the
this guy.
villagers.
Yeah, we probably won't go into it. We don't want to spoil all the mechanics and everything. Even though we're kind of also spoiling a little bit of like a rogue build.
Or maybe an adventure.
Yeah, I don't know why
better
this
prepared
window
you
is
are,
showing
the better
so
off
big.
you'll be.
It's spoil or it's
Very
teasing.
weird.
Exactly.
It's
Teasing. That's
teasing
the
everyone along.
There we go.
But yeah, so
that
that was a
looks
sneak peek at
good.
the Harbinger of Hatred. We just talked
That
about
should
again.
be
in
okay
case you
as
missed
well.
it, all their
You know,
bosses are getting a
wind chimes
a
used to be
boost
pretty
in both
popular.
their performance
They're
and just
simple,
the
made by
mechanics that
hand
they
by
have.
the villagers.
But let's, we fast forwarded past, the Harbinger of Hatred's fight. So let's imagine a world that we fought through the whole
Get
thing.
these
we killed him,
rewards claimed,
and
go to the battle
know,
pass,
now
claim
wind
all
chimes
this
used to be
stuff.
pretty
from the
popular.
horde.
Ooh, purple
They're
bags,
simple,
like
made
that.
by hand by the
Some footage
villagers.
here.
Alright,
Very
claim
shiny
these,
chest.
no
So
extra
we have
rewards
4
there.
hearts, so now we can open up the chest
Let's
again.
go
Each one of us
to
needs to
the
have it. And I
Amatoy
mentioned
house,
that
get
Bilal
my-
has a chance to surprise
You know,
ambush you after opening
wind chimes
every
used
horde.
Get those
pretty
guys
And here you
back
go.
out on a
Simple,
mission.
It's meant to
made
be
by
a
hand by
relatively
the
rare occurrence.
And as soon
but,
as Big
this is
gets
the
back,
magic
we
of
will
recorded footage.
flop over.
We can make the impossible happen. And in this case, again, painting the full picture of the scenario.
Bag.
You
Bag.
defeated the
No
Harbinger
bag.
of Hatred. You got
Boring.
the horde. You opened it. You got David Belial. You killed
Gonna
him.
send them
and
on
now
an
you
8-hour
get another
expedition.
frog.
Let them have
Yeah,
some
double
fun.
the loot, double
See
the
if that
frog.
helps.
double the loot of what you just essentially got. Which is
With the one-time payment of the layer keys that you deposited. So yeah, it really is kind of a 2-for-1 sale that Belial has for you.
And if you noticed, you might have seen we did.
Are you a
Okay.
traveler?
That pretty much takes care of all of
Well,
this.
You do have to pay to get the chest.
So
and
when
the
you
horde.
create a
We kept
character
the,
triple,
bonus chance
we
for that,
are.
so we love that people.
Let's see if this will show the server
That's a fun social experience in
that
Diablo.
we're
So
on.
what we've done is the hordes themselves will have bonus chances for loot when you are.
We exit out of the game, and I
Yep,
should be able to
absolutely.
show
So,
you.
Yeah, a lot of loot everywhere to give. And
I think it
on the
is
topic at
Henry
the very top,
that we're
I
on.
teased that Belial had a very special kind of
Gonna
role
let
in
it
the
load
reward
back in.
structure, different from every other boss. So, defeating the ambush version of Belial.
Yeah,
is
we're
not
getting
just
a little
lucrative
bit
in the
of
sense that
little
it's a
bit of
double payout.
lagging when
He
the
is
Steam
also
games
the
fire
sole
up.
source of the lair keys that you need to access his supreme form at the top of the ladder, the supreme form's horde. So I want to show off now. the
So
Supreme
that is
Belial's
because I'm using my
very
processor
green,
right now for
chest
the
here.
encoding.
So you can see here, it doesn't open up right away. I have some
I
options.
can
So
switch
the really
that to
cool
the
thing
video card, and then it
about
won't.
The Supreme
probably
Belial's
won't do that
horde
as much.
Is that you can set it to mimic the reward drops of any
Skip this
other
video.
existing lair
Okay,
boss.
so
let's say if you
when
are
you
trying to
create
do
your
ones
character,
to get
we
the
are
special stuff
on
that he
the
had,
Western America
and you can
server.
set your Belial to drop
And
the Dura loot, and he will do
the
so at
server
enhanced
name,
rate.
I
So
believe,
it's even better
changed
than if you just
to
went to go find
Invoker. We
Dura
were on Henry,
specifically.
but I think it changed to
So if you're really
Invoker.
target farming those specific uniques,
Let's
you
see.
get,
Yeah.
you know,
So here's the name of
this
the
Duriel-
server
this
right
version
here
of,
is Invoker. So
Belial just gives you a
when
much
you
better
create a
chance of doing
character
that as
and
well.
sign
Yeah,
in,
absolutely.
that'll be where you want to go
Not
if
just
you
that
want
in
to get
terms
into
of, like, his value, he
the
also
guild on
guarantees one ancestral unique drop.
Throne
per
and
kill.
Liberty.
And he's also a
And
really
we'll be
great
glad to help
source
you out
of
as
the
much
infernal
as we
compasses.
can.
So, for empower your infernal horde runs and whatnot.
There's no
it's
trading
never
in the
a waste
game,
of time to
so
go
they really
visit,
make you work for what you
Belial
want to earn.
Supreme at the top of the ladder here.
But we can
and this is
definitely
in
help you out
Torment
with
2, and
tips,
it all
tricks,
scales with
and
Torment 2.
getting
Exactly,
started.
yeah.
Torment the
You're going to
most.
get a lot of
What we're seeing
experience
is
from doing your main
Torment 2, so
quest.
obviously
There's a good
Torment 4.
tutorial in the game that gets you familiar with
It's a much
how
more-
to do
more
everything.
difficult challenge. At
It is much more.
Yes, it scales with the torment tiers, and also if we were in a party in this example here, we'd get even
So-
more chances of great stuff out of it as well.
Let's check out the trailer for Season 8, see what that looks like. I haven't actually looked at this. Here's a summary from Riker. He's pretty good too. Has been following him for a long time for Diablo, way back in the Diablo 3 days even. Here's the Vessel of Hatred, and I believe that's the new one. Let's see. 9 months ago? Yeah. Yeah, this is the new one.
Boy, young one.
Actually, this is just Season 8, I think. Only using 5.2, 4.3% of processing, so I don't know why this is kind of skipping like that. It shouldn't be.
Is that how I raised you? No, Mother. But I must carry this burden alone. I must get to Akarat's tomb. But look at you. You're killing yourself. I don't know how much longer I can... I'm here, little magpie. I missed you so much. I'm so proud.
This is actually a pretty good intro video.
But now
It's pretty creepy.
I need you.
But we'll look for the new season, the new update here in a minute.
No. Of course it's you.
This may be the only,
You monster.
this may be the only video right now.
Let's go. No. You made a choice. And I warned you, little magpie. There won't be consequences.
Okay. Shot through the heart.
No! I control the stone!
The stone. You control nothing.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I could use some help.
Looks painful. This trailer actually gets pretty crazy. Yeah, so that was about 8 months ago. Let's see. Which update is this? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We got a new season here. These are just kind of reviews of the campfire that we were just kind of watching, so meh. Was that skipping a lot for you, or was it just on my end? It looked like it was skipping a little bit.
I like to skip to my loop.
Skipping a little for you? I think it's because I'm doing this actual screen share. I am going to add... Yeah, I'm going to add an actual YouTube capture. And see if that changes it. I wanted to be capturing the screen so I could just drag stuff over quicker without having to switch a bunch of things. But let's see. Let's do that, and then now this should be showing up. No? Maybe not. If I turn this off, properties, YouTube private browsing, Diablo trailer. Not showing up. Okay. Are you done with your gift setup?
Yes.
Awesome.
And dinner, so.
And dinner? Holy moly. Let's go with a media source. No, that's not it. Yeah, it should. Should be working fine. Let's set it up one more time and see. Uh-huh. Okay, and how is that showing up in our window? A little bit off the top, I think. That 19 by 20 canvas is doing some weird stuff. And I'm not sure why it's resizing to where it doesn't actually fit in the window. It's kind of weird. Let me check the properties and see if, yeah, 1920 by 1080. So it should be fitting right in there, but it's not quite doing it.
I could make some comments.
Okay. How's that? Is that still showing up? Nope, it's way too big. I mean, I'm giving you your opportunities there.
Yeah, yes, I know, and I want to, but I'm not. I'm going to try to behave myself.
Okay. Yeah, this canvas is really weird, but that should be pretty much centered for you guys, I think.
Somewhat, yeah.
Should be good.
Decent.
Yeah, and let's see if this wants to lag again.
I saw my corpse, and from my mouth crawled hatred.
I'm looking for my friend, Nayrel.
Oh yeah.
She's somewhere out there.
The heretic Nayrel has fled holy judgment. Where is the girl?
Nari's death cracked the foundation of our faith. Orivar's actions tore those cracks asunder.
Help is needed, so help is offered.
What's your alibi? What's your alibi? What you gonna do when there's blood in the water? When there's blood in the water. We'll never get free. Let him to this slaughter.
Come, child of my child. I will give you the violence you long for.
When there's blood in the water.
Yeah, very skippy. And this is still on the processor one, so I think we could probably try it on the video card and see if it gets rid of that. Yeah, that mount looks awesome. So, yeah. Let me end this stream, and I'm going to switch it over to using my GPU instead of the CPU. Even only the usage is only at 3%, so I don't know why it's buffering and all that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm just going to end this, switch over to the GPU, and we'll be back in like 10 seconds live again. So. See you shortly.